What's up? Back on this channel. I'm just kind of chilling. I'm not really in the mood to do anything else, and I just kind of feel like playing Killing Floor and just chopping shit up. That's what we're doing. Hopefully I can think of something. I don't really have anything particular in mind as always, but we're balling. You know, I picked this Firebug class because usually in Z time I'm supposed to not run out of ammo, but seems that does not work for this game mode, so just gonna go to Berserker because it'll just be way more enjoyable to not move in slow-mo for this game mode. I guess one of the things I can start talking about is if you guys are young, you should definitely practice financial literacy as early as possible, because you'll definitely separate from a lot of people and you'll realize how many people have horrible spending habits at all ages. So many people and like don't like to budget or do anything like that or even prep for retirement. If you can start early when it comes to like getting into a 401k or a Roth IRA, you should definitely do it, as well as managing your money so you're not spending a bunch on stupid stuff. I kind of, man, this doesn't work either. What? I don't understand this game mode. Do I like not get the benefits from being in Z time like I'm supposed to, or what's the deal? Because I'm supposed to move in real time, but guess not. So I definitely have my own, you know, issues with spending when it comes to like eating out. That's where most of my dumb spending comes from. I'm also trying to eat a lot more, so I'm eating more than I normally do, which also means that I'm spending more because I'm also just not properly grocery shopping, which is dumb on my part. I need to start actually going and doing proper grocery shopping. So I spend so much money per month on fast food. Dumb, it's a waste of money. But you know, having a good amount of money in a emergency fund and saved up, it is so much nice. It's so much nicer to have a lot of money in savings and stuff and not have to worry about small purchases, because you know that if something were to go wrong, you can afford to get yourself out. Guess I could just pick support because it doesn't really matter about the perks. Even though I have a good amount less than I originally had, it is nice still having money in savings, and it's an underrated feeling because a lot of people don't. Most Americans don't even have $1,000 in a savings account, which is sad stat to hear. You don't have to be, you know, cheap. I would just be slightly more frugal with your spending. Like if you can't afford, if you want to buy something and you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it at all. Kind of just a good rule to go by. It'll keep you from making a lot of bad financial decisions, because most Americans do that with cars. That's where most of their bad spending is, which I've had the same car since I started driving when I was 16, and I'm 24, about to be 25 this upcoming year. While I really would like a new car, I don't really care to actually buy one, because it's a lot of stuff, like a lot of money I would have to put into it that I don't normally, and it's kind of pointless because I have a car that works just fine, and then adding a bunch of monthly payments and other issues with that when I don't need to doesn't make sense. So that's why I haven't. It would be really nice, trust me, I would really like to have a new car with some modern features in it. I don't have to have a Bluetooth transmitter through the like radio to have Bluetooth in my car, but I have technically I'm not in the place to actually afford a new car, so I'm not going to try to buy one when I can't afford it. Plus it doesn't really bother me that I have an older car. It's just more of a want. I will never be able to beat my 2-year registration being only $30. That is insane. Most people have to pay a couple hundred for just a single year, which I could not imagine. That's like what I'm saying, is I just can't imagine the amount of spending people do on a new car. I'll get to a new car pretty soon. I'm just making sure I'm set up for it before I do. Of course, I get the most annoying boss with this. Come on, buddy. I like to get to a point where my YouTube could cover a lot of expenses like that. That's what I'm trying to get with my main channel, so I don't really have to, you know, worry about it too much. Obviously, it's really volatile, so I can't put a lot of important payments on a YouTube income because that could change overnight, for better or for worse. So I gotta be, you know, smart with that. But I make an extra $100 a month right now, which is nice. That's, you know, it's money. Obviously not enough to do anything with it, but I just keep it in savings so that I can slowly grow, so it's not just wasted. And it does help because I do put my money in retirement, so it makes it not as, you know, crucial that that stuff's being taken from my main check. Which, if I started making more through YouTube, I would actually put just all my YouTube into investing or my emergency fund, and then I can, you know, just keep my check to be fully for me, my expenses and stuff. I'm just very, well, I'm a money nut. I very much like to have money, because once you go from not having money to consistently having money, it's kind of hard to go back, I'll tell you that. So I'll be good. I got plans, but if any of you guys are young, please, for the love of God, build good financial habits early. It'll save you in the long run, because a lot of people don't build good habits, and then when they need to have good habits because their financial situation is terrible, it's really hard for them to bounce back because they don't know how. Versus if you start young and you're smart with your money, you won't be in those situations to begin with. Obviously things happen, life does life be lifing, so you can't predict everything. Can't predict, but you can prevent. So as long as you have a good amount of money saved up for emergencies, then you're fine. That's the most important thing, is get an emergency fund, which, if you don't know what that is, it's usually 3 to 6 months of your living expenses just in a savings that doesn't get touched. And that means, you know, actually treating it for emergencies and not considering stuff like you are making bad decisions and then you need money, so you pull out of your savings just because you made a bad purchase. Emergencies are for emergency only, not what you define as an emergency. Because I had a bunch of money and I ended up spending, I think last year, over like $7 grand to fix my car across multiple different fixes. And if I hadn't saved up a bunch of money for the whole year, that would have been devastating. But I was able to actually afford it and not put it on any sort of credit cards or anything, just paid it outright. And I never had to worry about it. And I intend to stay in that kind of position to do things like that. So I stay a little bit more frugal. And if you're like that and you're trying to be like the way I am with money, don't let people, you know, make fun of you or make you feel like shit for not spending your money, because a lot of people will. It's kind of embarrassing how many people will make you feel bad because their spending habits are terrible. Really weird, honestly. And a lot of people think that you have to do everything in your life by the time you're 25, otherwise your life's over. I just don't understand my generation when it comes to that. They think that their life is over once they hit 30, but they end up spending a bunch of money in their 20s, and then for the rest of their life they're still working until they're 60 because they have nothing in retirement. Could not be me though. Not trying to be like that. I'm trying to retire as soon as possible, because it's also hard. Like, I just don't understand how people can think that way, because it's almost like they forget that they have parents, because like your parents are probably doing a lot more than they did when they were younger, and they're obviously in their 40s or 50s if you're my age. I couldn't imagine, you know, being broke at that age, or just in general. I hate not having money. Embarrassing. Like, I don't have to check my bank account to purchase food and shit like that, like some people do. I mean, it's a privilege for one, but it's also because I put myself in that spot. Not everyone is lucky enough to, you know, start in the places that I have, but it's not impossible to get there. I mean, I check my bank account like 5 times a day sometimes, just to look anytime like some small thing gets purchased like automatically. I just always want to know where my money's going. I'm not, you know, super critical and perfect with that, but I'm a lot more informed than most people are with their own spending. I've had coworkers and stuff, you know, question me for even checking my bank account. Most of them just start swiping until their cards get declined, which I just don't get. I don't ever want to be like that. It's just nice knowing that I can, like, when I go on trips, it's not detrimental and I don't have to work 60-hour weeks just to like get back to break even. I could just take a trip because I can afford it. And like, I'm getting new credit cards and stuff just for the point game. Like, I don't need the extra limits and stuff because I never get close to maxing out a card. All my cards are paid off by the end of the month. My biggest balance is on my Amex card, and that's just because I don't pay it off until I have to. So once that time comes, I'll just pay it off and then back to normal. That's just where all my spending is because I'm trying to get a welcome bonus. Like the finance game could be a dangerous trap, but it obviously can drastically change your life. I want to be on the better side. I want to be on the winning team. I promise it'll be worth it. It's gonna, like, obviously if you're in a bad situation, it's gonna be really hard and kind of shitty to get out of it. But once you break out of it and you are on the better side and have money and stuff, whew, it is nice. Like I'm not rich. Not even considered wealthy at all. I can just afford my lifestyle, so that's all that matters. And I just know where my money's going and I know how to manage it, and I'm taking steps to improve it because I'm not even satisfied where I'm at. I'm gluttonous with money because it's not greed. I'm not greedy. I just want more. Even though I have a fair amount for my age, I just want more. Real hustlers lose money just to go get some more. But that's where I'm at, you know. That was my little story / rant for this video. Nothing too crazy, at least the main concept of it. Might make this one like a little bit longer just because I'm kind of chilling. Everything else is pretty good in my life. My cat's being a real pain in the ass, but he's approaching his neuter date, so I pray to God he chills out a little bit because he's just being really extra right now. He's about to be 6 months at the end of this year, or end of this month, so he's a little guy, so he's just acting like a kitten, just being a pain in the ass as always. Other than that, I'm just doing my own thing as always. I'm happy where I'm at, but I would like to be somewhere else at the same time. Just always moving up. That's all I want to do. Just keep going up in the world. I'm not really sure what else to do. Grind and be my purpose. Channel's doing good. That's always nice. Back on my enjoying my YouTube because I did completely reset my PC. Basically made a little system image on a hard drive and then wiped it clean and just downloaded all the important stuff. So I built this thing in 2019, so it had basically 6 years of apps and stuff on it that was just really struggling to do anything. When I try to edit, when I would watch like the timeline and stuff, it would play basically 1 frame every couple seconds, and it was really frustrating to try to edit quickly. But now I can actually, you know, hit play on the timeline and it plays it in the full 60 FPS, and I don't have to actually worry about it being super slow and stuttery, which makes a huge difference in my editing pace. Because what used to take me basically like an hour and a half to edit now only takes about half an hour per video, and that's with playing with someone and having to edit a little bit more. Because when I would play by myself, it was much easier to edit and I could probably do a video back even on the shitty timeline with the lag and stuff. It would probably only take me about half an hour, which I can imagine now it probably only takes 15 minutes tops, which I'll have to try. I just record a video by myself right now after this. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that after I, you know, finish this video up. I'm gonna try to record a vid by myself and see how that turns out. I haven't played that game by myself in forever, so we'll see how that quality goes. Might be rough. Not really sure. I'm hoping it's fine. You can never tell though. That game is so 50-50 on if you actually enjoy it when you play it or not. It's just a lot better with friends and playing with someone, so that's why I haven't bothered to even attempt by myself, because it's just not worth it. Though I haven't been, and I'm gonna probably keep it that way. But yeah, that's probably gonna be it. Thanks for listening to my nothing burger of a video. If you did watch it, these are kind of just vids for me, not for anyone else, because nobody really watches these. So if you did, appreciate it. Love ya. And thanks for watching, guys. I'm out. Peace.